a little technical uphill.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to the channel. We are at our accommodation still. It's quite early in the morning, just before sunrise. Trev is not in good shape after his crash yesterday, so we're a little concerned about him. Some kind lady last night helped us out with a couple of, I think they're called sports patches and that sort of thing that we've stuck over his knee. His knee is in a bad way, and gave him a couple of pain pills, and this morning it's quite bad still. But anyway, our trip to the Fish River Canyon today, it will just be myself. I'm gonna risk it on my own. I really did come to the area to see the Fish River Canyon, so I'm gonna bash on, and I've taken all the weight off the bike. I'm just gonna leave my top box on with my drone in it, and just for a bit of footage when I get there. And we'll see how it goes. I'll drop the tyre pressures, but this Kalahari sand is evil. We've got a beautiful sunrise coming up in the background there. It's very windy and cold this morning. The moon is out as well, just a quarter moon. But what a beautiful sunrise here this morning. Absolutely beautiful. The sun's rolling out pretty quickly. I'm just going down to have a quick brekkie this morning to fill up the tummy for the ride. I don't expect that I'll find any grub on the way, so hopefully that'll last me until I get back this afternoon. I'm on my way now. I just want to let out a bit of air of the tyres quickly before I even hit this little stretch after yesterday's shenanigans. Got about a kilometre from the hotel to the main road first with the dust that old Trev had a crash on yesterday. Right, we've got those pressures just about where I want them. 1.5 in the front, 1.8 at the back. I would like them a little lower, but I'm worried about the rocks that come a bit closer to the canyon. Now, apparently there are more rocky sections there. Let's go and enjoy. It is very, very windy today. Just want to switch the traction control off quickly as well. Right, let's go and see what's cutting at Fish River Canyon, if we can get there. Alright, left off this way. It is about 100 k's of dust. Let's go for it. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking to ride on. It is very sandy and pebbly. Higher speed is definitely better on it, I can feel that. I'm doing 120 k's an hour now. The wind is catching me from the side, something terrible. It is blowing just short of a gale force yet today. Just to give you an idea of what these Kalahari roads are like, they're very pebbly. Slight dust, but more like little marbles on the road. But what an absolute pleasure without all the weight on the bike now. I've just got my top box on with a couple of goodies in, but much better without the weight. I'm hoping Trev's going to have a good rest today with his knee. He says his ankle is not as bad. We'll give him a couple of painkillers before we hop on the bike tomorrow, and once he's on the bike I'm pretty sure it'll be smooth sailing from there to the border post. But that's tomorrow's worries. These roads are so straight, I'm actually hitting almost 150 k's an hour, and it's just absolutely smooth at that speed. There's a lot more to see around just with the scenery, but all's going by very quick at high speed, and you certainly are best off at the high speed, as earlier mentioned. It feels a lot more stable, the bike. The moment you slow down under 100, the front wheel starts to wobble around a bit. The camel is eating up the dirt a lot better than I expected. That's for sure. We got up to 180 k's an hour there for a brief moment. You can see there, it's just lovely at that speed. I wouldn't like to come off at this speed though. I think it's going to be a no. Doesn't seem to matter what mode you're in the Camel. I can't seem to get rid of the traction control completely. I can feel it in its Enduro Pro mode.
it's still got some sort of control as it starts to give way behind you a bit more than you expect, which is kind of a little bit frustrating. It kind of takes away the control of the whole bike from you. Not completely, but you can kind of feel it. And I find that somewhat frustrating a bit. I want to be in full control of the bike completely myself, and yet it's just got that little bit at the end that comes in and says, hang on a bit, you're going a bit too far here. I'm starting to get used to the feeling of the front wheel just shifting left to right, even at the higher speed, and feeling a bit more comfortable with it as well now. I've only done about 50 k's so far, and I've covered that 50 k's in about 20 minutes plus minus. Just to give you an idea of how much better it is at high speed on these roads, there's been a vehicle in front of me for the past 15 kilometers or so, and I just can't catch him at 140 k's an hour. Either he's driving a rental and he doesn't care, otherwise it is a lot better at higher speed. This is the bloke I've been trying to catch for the last 40 kilometers now. I don't really want to travel in his dust, so I'll see if I can get past him. We've had to slow down a little bit. There are quite a lot of S-bends ahead of us. I can notice on the S-bends you can see the guys that have been overzealous. They've come a cropper. There are skid marks all over the show over there from guys that have spun around and into the side, and quite a few of them too. We're entering the National Reserve now. That Hilux is catching me up fast now that I've slowed down ever so much. No trains coming. What a fantastic experience. Here we are at our next turn-off. The road seems to have turned into something dusty now. As the vehicles pass you, you can't see anything ahead of you. It's a lot more sandy at this section. I've needed to slow down. Can't see anything in my immediate vision. It's making it a bit difficult with the dust to stay off the middle maniki, which is the dangerous part. I've almost had a spill or two already now. That's because of the low speed I'm traveling now. It's very unstable at the low speed. I'm at about 110 k's an hour now because I can't see very far ahead, and very unstable at that speed. I'm going to take back the words in earlier videos that the camel is not suitable for the task. So far it seems quite capable, but get rid of your weight. This is Canyon Roadhouse campsite, was where we should have slept last night, and it's awesome here. I am glad after Trev's crash yesterday we didn't come on this road. We might have had something worse at the high speed. But this place is beautiful. I love all the old cars. Look at that petrol pump. Old Chevy. Oh man. Oh, I wish I could come here with a Pantechnicon and take all of these home. Display them all over my garden. My wife would love it. I'm sure she would. I'm not going to stop here right now. I've just turned in here to have a quick squiz. I'm going to carry on to the canyon entrance, and I'll stop in here, maybe have a nail later. Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. Check at that filling station. And it's still in operation. Nice little speed bump there at the exit. We have made it to the entrance of the canyon in one piece, and I want to tell you, I've covered this last 100 k's of dust, in just over 40 minutes. It's insane. It's just insane. Let's find out where the reception is. Beautiful campsites here as well. But these, I can't believe, we're all fully booked. So was the Canyon Roadhouse campsite, fully booked. We all paid up. Let's head off to the canyon. I believe the road does get a bit rough and rocky. The road is starting to get like riding on a corrugated iron sheet now. It's shaking me guts out. It's such a beautiful scenic ride though. Even at high speed, the area is so vast that it's easy to take in and enjoy. The road has gone pretty rough over here. Just hit quite a hell of a rock there. I hope I haven't put a bend in the front rim. We have arrived at the canyon. Look at that. Isn't that a sight to see? The road has gotten a little bit more rough here. I'm going to carry on a little further to the viewpoint, and then I'll stop at all the other little ones that I'm passing now. I'll stop on the way back to view them. Just got to be careful on these rocks with my soft tyres that I don't bugger one of the rims up. I fear that that's already happened on that rock that I hit a bit earlier. Very, very slippery. It's just like marbles, this grit that's on the ground. Just want to stop and take this in shortly. Very rocky, this road. Nothing worse than I'm used to already anyway back at home on the off-roader. I just want to stop and take this in a bit. It is absolutely magnificent. Well worth the ride out today. Namibia, you are special. You are a special place. Very rocky and rotted now, but it's the kind of challenge I've been looking for all trip. This looks like the final viewpoint. I'm going to have to park here and take a walk. What an awesome spot, man. Out of this world, yeah. Just look at that view. Absolutely mind-blowing. I'm not much into hiking, but this deserves a hike to the other side of the hill there. Right, let's take a bit of a hike and see what's going on the other side. Really appreciate the vegetation that's around here as well. All these little bonsai type looking trees growing all over, but it's beautiful, yeah. This was well worth the ride out here today. Well worth it. And the camel handled it pretty well without all its weight on. Better than I expected. The vegetation here is just unusual in this harsh climate. Trying to figure out what this is over here. Just a whole bunch of circles of rocks. Maybe used for some religious beliefs, I suppose, of some sorts. Certainly not mine though.
We cannot unfortunately fly the drone around here. It's a national park, so it's prohibited. So this is going to have to do. Almost the first signs of water that we've seen in the whole of Namibia, except for a little dam here or two which are very dry. Nice to see a running river for a change. Just to give you an idea of the magnitude of the depth of this canyon, here are two hikers way down in the bottom there. I don't know if you can see them, but they look like ants from here. That was absolutely well worth the visit. If I haven't seen everything else I should have in Namibia, I've surely made up for it at the canyon. Let's set out to see the view sites I passed on the way in. Let's go up the rocky path again. Just lovely. You can see over there in the distance, about a kilometre away where I was. Couldn't have asked for a better day for the canyon. I'm glad the wind is huffing a bit because it's keeping me cool. There's a lovely little side road right against the side of the canyon here. So stunning. Look at it. Actually, I think it's a footpath. Yeah, I'm afraid I think it was a footpath. Well, let's take it anyway. Let's take it anyway. Here comes some wobbly dobbly hobblies. Alright, we made it. Another one of these shrines. Hope they don't give me gears for accidentally taking the hiking trail. Looked like a roadway. But this view, I just can't get over this view. I can't get enough of it. Oopsie, a bit close there. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So I've just bumped into a couple of guys at the viewpoint here. The guy says he's got a GS as well, and he says I'm flipping mental to come on these roads with a GS. They reckon it's too heavy. But as I mentioned, it feels like my YZ250 now that I've shed all the blimmin' weight. I'm off to the Sulphur Springs now. That's about 4 k's from the canyon view sites. So a bit of a rough road. Can you hear the rocks hitting the bottom of the camel? Just hope we don't damage something like that. Especially the front engine casing. It's very vulnerable. I don't have a cover or a guard for that. Yeah, I might consider putting a considerably better bash plate on the bottom. It's amazing how you start to get a bit more confident once you've been on the rough for a bit. Probably because I haven't fallen down yet. Just had to pull off to shed a few layers. The canyon sun is starting to beat down on me and get a bit warm. Look at that view there though. What an amazing sight. Well, let's head back. Here comes a little technical uphill. Daisy. There goes a tyre. I've lost a tyre. I've lost a front tyre. I thought I might have to be careful there. I was just taking it a little bit too quick. Let's pull off on the sides. It's a sidewall, so that's a bit problematic. Right, so we haven't managed to fix the gash in the tyre. Some kind ladies have given me a little bit of extra tyre weld. We'll take it as easy as possible and just keep pumping it up. Not leaking out as quick as what it was, but let's hope the tyre weld can just seal up what's left there. A note to self, take it easy on the Namib rocks, they're pretty sharp. I was warned about this before my trip. And
But just to see, I had to go and do it for myself. I was quite impressed with the kind ladies that stopped in to help me. They had just about everything possible for a puncture repair, but I had pretty much all the same goodies anyway. I did opt to use some of their tyre weld just so that I could save mine for the road, because although we managed to plug most of the leak, it's still leaking out fairly moderately. I'll just have to keep on pumping it up along the way. I'm sure getting a tyre here in this vicinity is going to be a couple of days long. So it seems on the tyre we are losing air fast. I was on the go, it was fine. As soon as I stopped now, it started to lose air again. So the tyre weld is not helping. Slash tyre or not, the canyon was worthwhile visiting. And I'm just going to try and limp along for the next 100 k's. Hope that my Timu pump holds out. Still got about 70 k's left and we're really limping along. It's losing pressure faster and faster each time I pump it up. I think it's the inevitable. I'm going to have to do the last bit of the leg on a flat tyre. There's just no help out here. There's a vehicle passing by every now and then, but not much they can help me with, because as I say, I've got already all that they have with them as well to be able to repair a puncture. The problem is that I've got a gash from the stone, so no plug is going to repair that. A gator could probably repair that, but I'll see what we're going to do when I get back to town. The little Timu pump is outdoing itself, even though it takes a bit of time to pump up the tyre. The battery's still showing it's pretty okay. But I'm only getting about 10 k's at a time from 0.8 of a bar down to nothing. I'm afraid it's leaking too bad now, it won't come up at all. We're going to have to just go for it. We've managed to limp the camel along at about 80 k's an hour on its flat wheel. I've got about 20 k's left back to town again. Well, I'm not too sure we're going to get much help on a Sunday. But I've got a plan up my sleeve. I think we should get hold of the bikers that we bumped into yesterday and see if any one of them can assist. They're about 60 k's from us in the next town. I'm just a little concerned in my last couple of k's. The tyres heated up quite a lot, being flat of course, but I'm afraid there's no hope for the tyre. It's had it. I'm a little disappointed as well. I haven't had my ale at the Canyon Roadhouse. I needed to get moving up so that I don't end up getting stuck in the dark. There have been a car or two passing by, mainly tourists from overseas. Not too sure how much help they would be passing. I'd need somebody with a van to be able to load the bike onto and take it back to town, so I don't have any other option but to continue. I can see some signs of life ahead. I'm about 10 k's out. I'm just holding thumbs at this Midas tyre. It's heated up so much I can start to smell the heat of it. I'm just hoping it gets me back that last 10 k's back to town. It's really felt like a long trip back. It only took about just over 40 minutes to get to the canyon entrance. I've been traveling now an hour and a half already, and I've still got those last 10 k's. I have made it back to the hotel, but the tyre is feeling out. It's feeling tired, the tyre. I can hardly steer with it now. Let's see what old Trev has to say about the news. He's not going to be too happy that he can't get on his bicycle tomorrow. Now, what to do from here? You soon to find out. We found a breakdown shop that might be able to help us to put a gator on the tyre. We're hoping that that'll be possible. But there it is, we've stripped it off and we're going to take it off to the breakdown spot. There's a lovely gentleman there that assures us he can fix it. I'm a bit concerned that it's on the side, but we don't have any other option for now, so let's see what we're going to do. Rather a long walk to the spot over here, just about up to where Trev had his spill yesterday. Even Trev's wondering how I got there so quickly. For me it felt like forever running there. You can check in the video as I'm running, it's getting slower and slower and out of breath. Anyway, you are? Donkey?
Yes.
Donkey, thank you for your help, man. He's going to give us a hand to try and see if we can put a gate on this tyre. And you reckon you can do it, eh?
Yes.
He says he's going to do it.
Yeah.
We don't have any other option. So here we are. Yeah, Trev's got a lot to say for me today.
I told him, stay off the road.
Stay off the dirt roads, he
That's
said.
what happens if you don't want to listen. That's what happens.
Right, we've gated it. It's on the bend, very bad place, and it's quite a big gash. Right, so no luck, the gator was unsuccessful. We're going to have to go for plan B, whichever that's going to be.